G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map in the colour pink, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. We've got, well, I don't know how to pronounce that, that's quite a tough one. So we're just going to go with our Holy Roman Empire friend, or our pink friend perhaps. And on the west side of the map, in the colour green, playing as the Ottomans, it's Liquid Demu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're back on Dry Arabia. I tell you what, I love this map. You know, I've talked about it before, but I'll say it again. I wish we could upvote maps. You know how you can downvote maps or ban maps? I wish I could preference a map. I wish I could just say, hey, I love playing in Dry Arabia. I want to find other people who like playing in Dry Arabia as well. Come on, let me meet them. Let me see them. Actually, now that I think about it, I was just remembering, and I think it was a post that I saw on Reddit for Counter-Strike 2. So apparently in Counter-Strike 2, if you guys didn't play Counter-Strike Source or Counter-Strike Go, they had a ranking system, and the way that it would work is like you'd queue up the same way that you do in Age of Empires 4, and you didn't know what map you were going to get. But in Counter-Strike 2, the way that it's going to work is that you can queue up for a specific map, and you have a rating, and that pertains to the specific map. Which is kind of exciting, right? Because if you only play, say, Dust 2, or you only play Mirage, your points are reflected based on that, because you know all the smokes for that, or the flashes for that. Because I played a lot of CS back in the days, took myself very seriously, but as you grow older, your reflexes get a little bit slower, and we have to fall back to RTS, don't we? Oh no, I'm just kidding. Look, I played RTS when I was at my peak, at my prime anyway. Let's move on. Let's move forward. Obviously, we've got a good matchup here, one that we've covered before. And I'm a big fan of this matchup. I do think this is quite a good one because the Ottomans are stuck in this little bit of an awkward spot. The first one is that they're really good in Feudal Age. They're one of the best civs. I wouldn't say one of the best civs, but they're decent in Feudal Age. As they get to Castle Age, it becomes a little bit harder because you have to throw up the options that you've got, and you've got so many on the table when you're the Ottomans. You need a second TC. That's important because you know that the Holy Roman Empire is going to be going for their Imperial Age. They're going to be looking to get that Palace of Swabia down ASAP. So you need a second TC. The next thing is that you need to pick up relics. Now, you can just go into a Vizier Point. You can go into Imams for that because you want to start denying those relics away from the Holy Roman Empire player. But you also want to go into military schools. Those are expensive. So you've got all these competing demands, and it really becomes, you know, difficult to work out which one is the best one, because whether you like it or not, in this matchup, it feels almost necessary to be going to the Castle Age quickly. So that's what I'm expecting to see Demu look to do here. For anyone wondering, the reason why he doesn't go for the military school early on is simply because even if you try and bring a spear out here to harass these villagers, all they're going to do is pull this prelate and it's going to start healing these villagers. And worst case scenario, the villagers will fight back and they're just going to be healed up. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. You don't get a whole bunch of value from the military school in the first stage. So I'd be surprised to see military schools coming out from Demu at this point. You know, perhaps that's the way that the Ottomans transitions, because we've obviously talked about the Ottomans a fair bit in the last couple of weeks. Perhaps the Ottomans, you just got to play them as a standard civilization and then look to go into those military schools a little bit later. Perhaps that's what it is. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how Demu looks to go about it. Crossbows are going to be really important for him in this game. Obviously going up against the Holy Roman Empire. Look, there's a couple of options that you've got available to you. We talked about the Feudal Age before. The fact that you can go into the meta, you've got that little bit of extra movement speed for your archers. It means that you can kite down men-at-arms, but I would expect, like any good Holy Roman Empire player, which I will just say, our Holy Roman Empire player today is quite a decent player. Not as good as Demu. Demu is Conqueror 3+++. He's like 2.4k rated. Whereas our Holy Roman Empire player today is sitting at about 2.1k. Still very, very good. I'll say that much. Definitely very good. I think sitting inside the top 20. So the age ups have come through. We've got an Archon. We've got a Minework. I was going to say we've got a Minework. We've got a Twin Minaret Madrasa here. If we had to give the Twin Minaret Madrasa a placement score, well, it doesn't really matter. As long as you've got the berries close to the TC. And Demu does, so he's absolutely fine here. Let's check in, though, with how his opponent's doing. Not the best placement. I mean, it's not that the placement isn't good. The issue is that it's not the best Archon, is it? I mean, what else could you do? I mean, you could probably go for something around here. Wouldn't have been terrible. Hit the wood, hit the gold, maybe hit the berries. I'd have to double check my ranges here, but I got a sneaky suspicion you could probably get it in there. And that may have been better, but you're not going to get a whole bunch of wood here. But to be fair, he doesn't really have a whole bunch of wood here anyways. Going to be looking to throw down some farms early on. Look how early these farm transitions are happening. The sheep have come back now, and a barracks comes out. So looking just to put on a little bit of early pressure here. Demo is going to scout this out, and he will see the long-distance mining of stone and probably question himself, what's happening here? Is he looking to go for a... Is he looking to get an emplacement up? Is that what that is? Are we going to see villagers, a forward villager come out? You know, who does this long-range gathering? And that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be the emplacement, but it's going to be for the outpost on the front, for which Demo has already scouted. So it's just 3 villagers sent out just to go and pick up that stone and bring it back. But we do now start to see the men-at-arms come out. We've seen this a couple of times before recently with the Holy Roman Empire. They just stop in the feudal age just quickly, men-at-arms or 2, couple of farms, and then look to get back up to the castle age. Not back up to the castle age, back to the future. They look to get up to the castle age as quickly as they can. Now, another thing to note, maybe this is something that the devs could look at for Ottoman fast castles. If you go for a naked, a raw fast castle, you're not actually going to have your viziers, your vizier point in time to get your imams while you're transitioning. It will actually come after you age up, and that's not, I don't think that's particularly good for the Ottoman fast castle. So I'd love to see maybe that first vizier point just come in a little bit earlier, or maybe make it that the age up gives you the vizier point. I don't even know how you do it, because the one way I found around it is that you would go for a military school, and then that would generate enough points for you, or you could go for a barracks and make a couple spears, and that would get you up to having enough. Because now you're kind of left in this awkward spot where you want to age up. You can see Demu's going to be able to click up here. Throws down the Istanbul Imperial Palace. We are seeing a shift in the meta for the Ottomans. I can confirm that. Do we see a Janissary timing push coming out? Is this what we've been waiting for? Is this it? But once again, I just fall back to that point that right now, could you imagine how good it would be for the Ottomans to have 2 imams just moving out on the map? One up to here, one down to here. And, you know, you've got the men-at-arms that are out here, but you know this isn't going to be serious, right? Like, over on the other side of the map, we've got walls coming up from this player. Now, as I mentioned, as soon as Demo's up, he's going to be able to click on those imams if he so chooses. I would really hope that he does. I think they've got huge value here. I guess the other option is to go for sheep. And I guess he's got berries close to himself here, but you can see that the Vils are kind of moving back, and he is looking for stables, so maybe he looks to go for Anatolian hills here instead. But I do see Vils moving up towards a gold mine. I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? And he does go imams, great. I would have loved it. I think it would be such a strength to the Ottomans for these to come out slightly faster. But the age ups through Holy Roman Empire, take a look at this, nowhere near age up. Well, I say nowhere near, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like, he's 6 seconds away from age up, but that's nowhere near. And all the Vils coming out onto gold, mate. Look at this. You're not playing Age of Empires 3. You're not buying any mercenaries here, mate. What are you doing with all those Vils on gold? Are we going for Janissaries here? This can't be real life. So one imam's going to be just doing up the healing. Second imam's going to come out, look to pick up these relics. Now, one of the things that I am a big fan of doing is picking up the relics and just bringing them back to the safety of my base. You don't have to have that monastery already done. You can just bring the relic back, keep it safe inside your base, and I think that's really important here. So hopefully that's what Demo's going to be looking to do here, because it is quite expensive having that monastery, but he's going to begin to transition quite a few villages, and we can see he's also got the 5 on gold at the back here. The age up now going to be coming through for his opponent. Regnitz Cathedral on the way. 9 Vils on that Regnitz Cathedral, looking to upgrade the spears as well. And the prelates are on the way into the middle of the map. You can see that the men-at-arms are going to be looking to chase down the inevitable imam, looking to pick this up. At the same time, scout up towards the north side. So he's picked up so far 1 relic. That's going to be the second one. Now, just remember, see, this is where I come into the whole, just drop it over here and then just move immediately. And look, don't worry, it's not about capturing the relics. It's about denying the relics. That's what's so important. But we can see Demo's doing a pretty decent job so far. Prelate's going to continue moving out here. Knight's going to be uncontested, as the men-at-arms has got absolutely no shame in being out here on the map. You're going to get caught with your pants down, sir, like an English men-at-arms rush against the French. You get denied. Now men-at-arms towards the south. He could look, if he wants to, go for the Wallalol here just to even try and capture that unit. It would be unlikely, but it would be possible. You could look to do it. But we'll be now cleaning this up down on the south side. Let's check in with our Holy Roman Empire player, as he's picked up 1 relic so far. Second relic also coming through, and this is sort of where I was drawing on that idea of not necessarily leaving your imams in the base, as we can see this imam only just now getting back out, but rather just bringing that relic in, rally him back out, look to pick up that next relic, because now all of a sudden, your Holy Roman Empire player He's up to 2 relics, and it's about to be 3. Look at this. We've got a little. Hold on. Oh, you come to the wrong neighborhood, my friend. That is not the right relic. This could be bad if he snipes this away. Have we got stables up for our Holy Roman friend? We do. Okay, we've got 2 stables up, so he could be. Yeah. Okay, so he'll be absolutely fine. We'll be able to pick up this relic anyway. It's not going to matter. So 3 relics for the Holy Roman Empire against an Ottoman player who was up. I don't know the exact timings, but I'd be tempted to say a full 60 seconds earlier. And there's really part of me, look, there's part of me that thinks Demu could have done it differently, but there's also part of me that just thinks, maybe make it so like the Ottoman Vizier point comes in naturally at 7 minutes. That could be the way that you do it. Wallalol defend comes in. Looks like it's going to be able to hold for now. He's trying to find a way through, but I think it's guaranteed he's going to hit 3 relics for the moment. Sacred Sight's coming in. I would love to see that though. Like, make the timing for the first Vizier point. If you don't create anything other than villages, land at somewhere around like 6:30, so that when they age up at 7:30, they've got their Vizier or their Imams out on the map. You know, that for me would be perfect for the Ottomans, and a nice little way to shift them. I don't think that really empowers them too much. If the meta's out a little bit earlier, is it really that big of a deal? Probably not. Imam does get caught though. So that's going to be 2 sacred sites held in the interim for Demu. 2 relics in the long term, which isn't too bad. But we do now start to see the military schools coming down. So we talked earlier about the options that you've got as the Ottomans. First, you want to contest the relics. He's done that. Second one, you want to get that second TC up. Third one, you want to try and look to get your military schools online. And it's always a question of which one are you going to prioritize. So here we can see that the town center has kind of... it's fallen off the back foot. That's the issue that you've got. But we do have a nice little raid coming through from our Holy Roman Empire friend. 9 spears out as well. Pretty decent chunk of spearmen, that is for sure. So defense should be fine, but I would expect with the amount of farms that we saw earlier that Imperial Age is going to be on the way for this gentleman very, very soon. We can see that it's a decent farm transition. There's no more sheep underneath the town center, but yeah, at the moment, how many farms are we sitting on? We're sitting on 10 farms, so that's pretty good. It's about where you'd want to be at this point. Crossbow's now going to start to come out for Demu. I don't know what Vizier point he's moved into, but I would suspect it's probably that 4th military school. And we can see that he's gone into 100% crossbows. I do like this, the crossbows. Yes, it is indeed that 4th military school. So just going for a crossbow spam out of the military schools, I think this is 100% the right call here. I'm loving this playstyle so far from Demu. The one thing I would have changed if I possibly could have is said just throw down the second TC before the military schools. Just make the military schools. And look, at the end of the day, your enemy's going to get Imperial, right? The question's going to be whether you can kill them before that. And I think that's probably what Demu's looking to do. He's going for some sort of strike. That next Vizier point's in. He could look to pick up Janissaries here. He's maxed out 4 military schools. He can pick up every single one right now. I think that gives him... It's either... I'm pretty sure it's 10, because you get 2 from the main TC. Do you? Maybe you don't. Maybe I don't think you get that anymore. Not anymore, but I just remember that there was a situation where you could get 10. Maybe it was from the MIA, when you had the MIA. Maybe that's what where it happens. And it's actually pretty big brain when we think about it from the perspective of Demu, going for this landmark over the Mehmed Imperial Armory. The MIA, it's going to get you mangonels, okay? Mangonels are great. Except the Holy Roman Empire don't make ranged units. It is very rare to see one. I think in the last couple of games we've casted, there was actually a Holy Roman Empire player who was making archers. But it's very, very rare. It's something that you don't often see. So, there is a Janissary. There's actually a Janissary on the field. We've got 2 Janissaries on the field. 2 Janissaries are out right now. He's up to 4 Janissaries. He's actually going for it. It's happening. This is interesting. Okay, so I'm curious what kind of comp he looks to go for. So for me, I think it's really important that he looks to get the meta out. That's a really important thing, to get that attack speed. Attack speed scales really well with ranged units. But whether he actually does that or not, let's have a look and see. What's he got them on? So has he switched any over to the meta just yet? Maybe he's going to look to make the meta instead. Is he training gens? Oh my god, he's training gens. Whew. That's a lot of gold right there. That's a spicy meatball. Palace of Swabia about to come up on the wood line, as you expect. Not a bad little timing, a little bit before 15 minutes. Not too bad right here. Now keep in mind, Palace of Swabia, for anybody wondering, equivalent to 3 town centers. Now, big error right here. You never research your textiles in your Palace of Swabia because it takes 20 seconds to research when it actually takes 20 seconds to research in your main TC as well. Whereas in your town center, it takes 20 seconds to train a villager, whereas in your Swabia, it only takes 6 seconds. So in the time that it took you to research textiles over here, rather in here, you could have made more than 3 villagers. So there you go. The more you know, just keep that in mind. Knights coming in on this backside. Beautiful harassment coming through from the Holy Roman Empire player as 2 villagers going to go down here. And that's just the start. 3 vills. He manages to catch the run now. Spearman going to look to try and defend. Definitely not enough here. And looks like only going to be losing out those 2 vills to start with. So not too bad, actually. I think it was the 3 vills, wasn't it? But look at this timing push. Demu now double his opponent. He's going to need to bring in rams. I feel like he's going to need rams here. He's yet to go for it. We do see the outpost is in. Now, what's the key that we're looking for whenever we're defending as the Holy Roman Empire? It's going to be those bombard emplacements, those cannon emplacements. Instead, we've actually got our Holy Roman Empire player just rushing the keep. Normally, a single outpost would be enough. Outpost, fortify, get your emplacement, throw a relic in it, and you're absolutely fine and dandy. But here he's going to say, I'm just throwing down a keep. I'll defend with a keep. And how does Demu deal with that? You go Trebs, okay, it's going to be slow, it's going to be steady. Culverins are already coming out. You go battering rams, yeah, you can do it, but you're up against, you know, the Holy Roman Empire. They've got a lot of melee units, that's what they want. I would be going for the battering rams. I'd be switching a whole bunch of vills right now over to wood, and it's really hard to do that because you've got these knights hovering around the back, and just saying, okay, well, I'm going to do battering rams. Or just try and find another angle, because this one's here, but the issue that you've got is the longer that you wait against the Holy Roman Empire, the more emplacements are going to start coming up. They're going to look to put relics in them, and you can see we've already got outposts in position here to defend. This one, not so important. It's going to be those other ones that really matter, but Demu now with the huge massive Janissaries will be looking to absolutely steamroll his opponent. Mangonel should be on the way. Indeed, it is on the way here. Demu not really going to have a response to that, though. Maybe a Springald could have worked. Probably not. A bit hard to defend. Sipahi going to be coming out. Nice little mix. Crossbows together with the Janissaries. I guess men-at-arms could be pretty decent here. Nice splits coming through as well from Demu. Up towards that top side, the re-wall has come through. He's looking to shut down the gold veins. You can see both of the gold veins shut down completely. And now that Colv may get caught out. You can see it standing by, looking to fire. There's the Mangonel underneath the town center. He's looking for a shot. He's all clumped up off the top rope. He finds it. It's absolutely beautiful. Imams continue to heal up, continue to hold on. Mangonel looking to reposition, comes a little bit closer and says, hey, how's this one for size? It's absolutely beautiful. Look at the damage that gets put down on Demu. No formation, no staggering at all on these, but he does have that little bit of extra help coming out from the Imams, that extra little bit of healing. I think it's about 2 every tick at the moment. You can see that Imam in there just healing like an absolute goat as the Mangonel goes down, but you do see the outposts are now coming up. We've got the defensive emplacements yet to come through on these 2 outposts. Instead, going to be looking for the cannon emplacement on the one that's yet to fortify. A little bit of a mistake here. Let's see if he picks it up. Isn't going to be going through. Instead, looking for the villagers, which it could be 100% the right move here. Instead, going to now look to turn around, begin to siege down the unprotected or undefended outpost. But Demu, 57-7 right now, 54-7, looking pretty damn solid. He hears that emplacement fire off, and he should know he can't go anywhere near that. Next, Mangonel rolling out. Looks like he'll only hit a handful of units. He just wants to find vills here. He's already taken down 14. There were plenty on the backside. 3 knights managed to make their way through. There are so many villagers down here. If he can only just spot them, he could clean them up. He's still got this hole at the front of the wall, continuing to put on the pressure, and all of the ranged units are going down. Only 6 of them remain, and the keep from downtown gets the shot. Oh my lord, that was a Hail Mary, and it absolutely hit. That was a heat-seeking Hail Mary right there. That was a lot of damage, man. That was... yikes. Well, Demu gets shut down on that raid. 27-7 is not bad, but one of the things I mentioned earlier was the lack of the second town center. Demu's sitting behind his enemy by 23 villages, and that's despite the fact he's taken out 18 so far. Now, granted, his opponent's doing a really good job of counterattacking. When I see this style of play, it really reminds me of Marine Lord, someone who's facing an imminent death push in their base, and he's still like, yeah, I can take 2 lances and go kill some villagers. Like, yeah, this will be fine. And he somehow manages to pull it off, and that's what we're seeing right now. Our Holy Roman Empire player is doing well, but Imperial Age coming through for Demu right now. I don't know how I feel about this. This is a lot of resources coming down, and the question's going to be what value is he going to be able to draw from this? Istanbul Observatory. It acts as a university, gives you a whole bunch more power to get your free units out. But at the end of the day, what does it really offer you in the form of a tangible bonus that you can have? You know, when you think about the Palace of Swabia, these guys are the absolutely king of the mid game. Enables you to go from 40 vills to 130 vills in less than what? Less than 10 minutes? I mean, let's do the math just quickly. If a villager takes 6 seconds to train, that's 10 minutes, or in 1 minute, it's 10 vills that you've trained. So in 10 minutes, you can make 60 villagers. No, 100 vills. Basic math with Drongo. Oh gosh, it's not going well. I assure you, I did indeed graduate from primary school. I think it was the primary school. No, I'm just kidding. It was primary school. Look, I would brag about my education, but look, primary school's not that impressive. I'm sure most of you guys have, yeah. Anyway, military school going to be coming down here. This is going to be the 5th and final military school that he's got access to. Was there ever a unique tech that allowed you to get a 6th military school in the Imperial Age? I remember thinking about it, maybe. Maybe I thought about it. I don't think it ever happened. Crossbows now. So where does he go for upgrades? He's going into Elite Sipahi. Interesting. Elite Sipahi going to do really well against ranged units, but as we've talked about before, you're up against the Holy Roman Empire, a civilization typically that doesn't make those ranged units. And Demu down on score. Look at the difference in score right now. I think this is largely because of that villager gap. Maybe it's not even to do with the villager gap, but I can tell you right now, if I had to give an advantage to either side, or to, you know, a specific team here, it's got to be the Holy Roman Empire. And it all just comes back to the fact that he's utilized the gold from the relics really well in getting up to the Imperial Age. Demu put on the pressure, but he was able to hold in time. He was able to get up, and that's what mattered. And now Demu's in a bit of a tough spot because he's up against a powerhouse economy that only keeps booming. Whereas he's kind of been stuck on that 1 TC. You know, if I could have gone into Demu's position here, or, you know, if I was coaching over his back shoulder, not that, can I just say, Demu absolutely does not like people backseating him. But if I was backseating him, Coach Drongo, I would have said, no, instead of going imp here, let's put down 2 TCs and match that TC bonus that we've got from the Palace of Swabia. And then we'll go imp after that. Because, as you can see, there's not really like a whole lot of pressure that's coming out from the Holy Roman Empire player. There's not a whole lot of oomph he can put into it. So I definitely think you could have gone 2 TCs first, then into the imp, and then from there, you're still in a decent spot. You know, you can go into the Elite Sipahi, which, by the way, are the best looking Imperial unit in the game. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Like, let's follow along right now with these guys. Are they not the best looking unit in the game? If there's one thing the Ottoman spammers don't talk about enough, it is the lack, or it is the amazing, absolutely amazing Sipahi. That is it. Just the aesthetics, not the actual unit. Unit, not that good. The aesthetics of it, though, amazing. Come on, guys. You got to comment more about this right now. If you are watching this video and you haven't liked the video already, you're going to minimize the video, come out quickly, like it, and then comment about how cool these units look as they try and defend. Well, not really defend. I mean, they're up against men-at-arms. It's going to be a tough fight. It does actually make sense to make these units, now that I think about it, against the men-at-arms, but the issue that Demu's going to have is the men-at-arms for his opponent have got extra damage against heavy. So if he makes knights, they're going to get absolutely shredded. Whereas if he makes these Sipahi, they survive for, I don't know if they'd survive for longer, but definitely they have more survivability because of that. If you were to think about, say, population as an example, they probably wouldn't on a population efficiency scale, but definitely on a you know, whenever you're under 200 population, it definitely does scale. But speaking of under 200 population, take a look at the other side, 159 pop versus 108 for Demu. Not looking the best on that villager count either. I mean, there's a couple of factors to consider here. So Demu's got the 3 sacred sites. That's a little bit of extra gold. He's got 2 relics compared to the 3, so not really that much you can throw there. But he does have the military schools. But the military schools, I can tell you right now, they don't add up the difference. Definitely not. They do not add the difference that his opponent's got. Now, take a look at this. No elite upgrades for these men-at-arms just yet. Well, there we go. It just came in. Janissaries with their upgrade as well. Demu going to be looking to try and defend this push with Janissaries, and I think Janissaries here are the correct call. Janissaries are such a game-winning unit for Demu, as long as he's able to deal with the Mangoes. The Mangoes are going to be the main issue that he's got. But let's take a look down here on the south side. Huge amount of outposts coming up, emplacements all the way through, attacks under all different angles, and the Janissaries look to continue holding. Now, why are Janissaries good here? Number one, hand cannoneer units have got a high damage, which means that they can cut through that armor of the men-at-arms. You can see right there, 6 ranged armor. It's a lot of armor, whereas the Janissaries have got 23 attack, which is a pretty decent amount. So they're passing through a high percentage of their attack. Number 2 is they deal well with any kind of cavalry threat. They do extra damage against cavalry, so you can't make horsemen against them, can't make knights against them. So they kill knights, they kill men-at-arms, they kill horsemen, they kill absolutely everything. The only thing that they're dying to here are archers, crossbows, or mangonels. So that's going to be the main threat here for Demu. Let's see the look how he plays it. Knights, nowhere to be seen as we've got ourselves a little bit of a keep fight down here. Horseman up against the Sipahi. Men are going to be running over here. He's looking to try and take out these villages. Knows how important it is to contest this sacred site. More and more horsemen going to be coming in now from that top side of the sacred site. He's looking to get us around on the villages, but as all Sipahis know all too well, it's not easy killing villages. Looks like this race is going well for Demu here. I think it's going to be a case where both players get to keep up at the same time. He's going to look to try and take out the villagers now. He needs to make sure he's focusing them down. You can see that he's struggling to get it up. I don't think Lord Doubt smiles upon this. I think this will get up, and we will have a keep sandwich on... Well, it's not really a keep sandwich, and the villagers do actually get out. So I think he realized, but the sacred site will hold for the moment, and that's what Demu wants. But the problem that you've got is that siege is going to continue to roll in, and when it comes to the siege advantage in the late game, you have to give it to the Holy Roman Empire. Look, I love the Great Bombard. I think it's a beautiful looking unit, just like the Sipahi, but it's not the Culverin, and we don't have access to the Culverin over here with the Ottomans, so it really leaves a little bit to be desired in the late game. So I hope that Demu goes into, like, I would love to see him just go mass Janissary with Springles, but I don't know, where do you get the gold from to do that? Especially on a map like this, where this is your trade post. Like, ugh, look where this trade post is. You got to trade to this corner. I guess you could do that. That wouldn't be terrible. You could look to go into trade bags, but you've gone for I wouldn't say the wrong landmark. You've just gone for the other landmark. And you're kind of playing into the strength of that, right? Like, you had 4 military schools, you're going into a 5th military school, so you're definitely playing into that strength. So, I mean, you can still just go for trade. It doesn't have to be the best. I guess that's another thing. I'm a min-maxer. I'm always like, if I'm making one trader, you better believe I'm going for the trade landmark, and I'm getting trade bags. Like, that's the... I just don't like it. I always think that way, and I got to stop myself. I got to stop myself, guys. All right. A couple of crossbows out as well. He's picked up the elite upgrade for that one. Map control starting to look good for the Holy Roman Empire player. Moving up towards the north side, we see an additional keep going to come down here. Demu a little bit late with a keep on the large gold vein, which is so important for him playing as the Ottomans. When it comes to playing the Ottomans, gold is one of the most important resources. You've got a lot of units that are very heavy on the gold. I find myself transitioning to farms quite late, just as Demu does, and we can see him right now barely transitioning over to farms, only throwing down his 24th farm right now. That's 3 rings of farms around a keep and around a mill. But speaking of keeps, we got ourselves a little bit of a problem down here, because Demu looks like he's going to lose that sacred site victory threat. Obviously, he's lost the other 2 in the north, in the middle. That'll be the 3rd one, though. So he's back to square 0 when it comes to sacred sites. And now his opponent, more than 70 population ahead. It is all down to these villages, though. Look at this. It's literally 70 villages ahead. But you know what that means? That might look good at the moment for Demu. You know, he's not that far behind on the military scale. But just remember, when that army dies, you know what's happening. It's getting replaced very slowly compared to his opponent. So that's always something to keep in mind. Demu now going to head to the north side. I think this will be his first interaction with this keep, and undoubtedly will be a little bit upset that it's already here. His enemy doing a decent job, and it looks like the stone wall is going to come up, but I can't help but feel like it's on the wrong side of the gold. Wouldn't you just love to have that gold secured? It's painful. It's painful. Where does Demu go from here? Gold vein down on the south side. Villagers now idle. The gold begins to dry up. Large gold down here with the keep on top. Demu out of gold. And now not only that, but he's also going to be out of luck on this north side, as we've got ourselves a little bit of a fight on the south. Janissary's doing a decent job spreading out that damage. I don't know what that... It was just a deleting of a mill that was that unnecessarily loud. Was that a mill? Maybe an outpost? Sacred site now starting to be captured as well. Cleaning up all of the units here, freeing up a lot of population space for his opponent, which is really good for them. You got a whole bunch of spears here. They're a wonderful unit in the early game, but once you hit max pop, they start to lose efficiency because they are the cheapest unit that you can buy. Well, the equal cheapest unit you can buy. Horsemen now looking to make their way through. Janissaries here to counter as well. Have these guys picked up their chemistry yet? Let's double check. Oh, he hasn't got chemistry yet. Chemistry, a really key upgrade here for the Ottomans, just because the Janissary, the Great Bombard, they all rely on that. You know, if that's not going on the screenshot, I don't know what is. Demu's deadly. What are we going to go with? Ottomans? It just doesn't roll, does it? Yeah, it doesn't go. Lay your eyes upon the Great Bombard of Demu. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. I'm thinking all of these things in my head, and I'm like, no, this is we're not a children's show, but you know, this is we want to keep it family friendly, right? We want to keep it family friendly. Janissaries numbers starting to build here. He's up to 18. Still got 2 more in queue. Is he looking to make... Are we making Janissaries here? No, we're not making Janissaries. Doesn't have the ability to train them from the military schools. But no, hold on. He's making knights, though. So he does. Am I? Ah, there we go. Okay, there we go. He is making knights. So he did manage to pick up the advanced military schools. And look at the numbers for Damu. Starting to look good. Up against mass men-at-arms right now. 42 men-at-arms, a whole bunch of them in queue. And using the Sipahi to tank the front line. At the same time, the Knights are rallied to the north. So the Knights are going to be defending up against these attacks. Whereas the Sipahi are going to be fighting up against the men-at-arms. And Demu looking to bring it down. Taking it home right now. Demu looking to chase back that culverin. We'll be able to find it. Janissaries on the back line. All the Ottoman haters right now. All the Ottoman enjoyers right now, I should say, are just... I can just feel the tears flowing down their face as they say, no, the Ottomans can't win in the late game with great bombards and Janissaries. No! Sorry. I got it. I got it. That's what they say. That's not what that's them. That's them. Villager numbers starting to get a little bit nicer here as well. 91 versus 128. He's managed to find a way back through, but the Great Bombard will go down. That is a lot of resources that have just gone the way of the Dodo. We're talking about 1350 resources. That is enough to do a lot of things with. I don't know. You can make it 1.5 keeps with it. That's a lot, man. They are so expensive, and it feels terrible losing them. I feel like you know what? Great Bombards should come with, like, give the Great Bombard an auto-repairing... So in Age of Empires 3, you had, like, your siege had little dudes, and the little dudes would move around with the weapons. Here, there's no little dudes. They're alien reproduction vehicles. Google it. They're alien reproduction vehicles. They don't need any form of propulsion. They've got it all worked out. My point is, I'd love to see, like, the Great Bombards, make them a little bit more unique. Like, make them have, I don't know, some sort of heal over time. Just they're always healing or something like that. That'd be cool. I'd like to see that. You could do that. Look at me. I'm an ideas guy. Get me in there. I'm right in Silicon Valley with these kind of ideas. That's me. I'm the ideas guy. I don't have any capital. All right, don't look at me. I don't have any connections. I'm the ideas guy. Mangoes teeing off. Janissaries. We talked about it earlier. Their greatest weakness. It's not that they are afraid of failure. It's that they're afraid of mangoes. Frontline should be able to hold on for dear life here. Not a whole lot of Sipahi here. They managed to come back onto the mangoes. He needs to split these guys up. Don't let them fight. Otherwise, just try and get in close. Splits are coming through, though, but the men-at-arms will be able to defend them. 33 minutes into this game, and all of a sudden, the tides have turned. We were just talking about how the commenters were ringing and going crazy. Demu taps out in an absolute turn of fates right there on the finish line, unable to close it out. Ladies and gentlemen, go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can watch him live on Twitch. He streams every single day. So go over, say good day, and of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.